And we are live. Hello everyone, welcome to part 14 of Sonadow Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Joining me as per usual is my lovely girlfriend IMShadow 007. Say hello, hon.
Hello!
And as we said on Twitter and Blue Sky, this is the final part of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney.
Let's go!
So the final part of Ace Attorney 4, and then we'll move on to Ace Attorney 5.
Dual Destinies.
It's funny how they all have names over here in the West, but in the UK, Japan, they're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ah.
Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin?
Preparations are complete. Yes. Select.
Well, that's the final part of this game. Gabby Shy, then we're going to go on to Ace Attorney 5. Something inside me. Rising. Surfacing. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close.
I'm getting Trials and Tribulation vibes.
Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant Vera Misham's condition? Acute atroquinine poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today.
What? They can't put her on trial without her being here!
It is unusual. In absentia. It is a real thing.
Absentia.
Yeah.
They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them.
That's being a little harsh. We can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to give Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done.
Objection!
But Vera was poisoned with atroquinine. The exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. Is that so? Then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. Prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I've got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which to hit first?
Show how.
How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I'll focus on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Masham?
Nail polish.
What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Ah!
But don't.
Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah! Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. Know any woman with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. You didn't know what nail polish is, Your Honor?
Never change, Your Honor.
Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails, which you shouldn't do because that can cause infection. Her nails.
Guilty.
Ah! Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff! Have them check the defendant's nails at once! Mr. Justice! Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Masham? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No,
Ooh.
just checking. Yeah,
He's
you know.
shaking. You know all about it, wouldn't you?
Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask. Who poisoned Vera Masham via her nail polish?
Christoph Gavin.
Yeah, it's literally highlighted him for the very first one.
I know.
Take that!
What's this? Christoph Gavin?
Objection!
What's your game? My bro? There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so.
Sweating bullets.
That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there's a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that's been swallowed, that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
Hello, Dahlia. I mean, Christoph.
Ah, Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss?
Tip up her lip, Apollo. You can do it.
Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadone?
Yeah.
Ariadne nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. And yet, you don't see his nails painted there. Her taste, indeed.
Well, it did say that the nail polish was clear.
True.
So.
This nail polish was how Vera Michon was poisoned. Atrocanine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him. Again. Ah, and? You agree with his accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? I swear, even though they're meant to be like younger and older sibling, you'd swear they were twins.
I know, right?
Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please.
I'd be delighted.
Moment of truth.
The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Michon. Please testify on this matter to the court.
Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poisoning, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely.
Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Michons. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice?
Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Michons. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why?
Perceive on the final statement.
Yeah, if I remember, it's his hand.
Yeah.
I have played this game myself, although it was a while ago.
And you'll know why Vera called him the devil. Look at the back of his hand. Wait for it to form. Wait for it. Wait. Come on. There!
Ooh,
Gotcha!
that's creepy.
The devil! The skull.
It was you who killed Drew Michon. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. And, let's assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Michon fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. And then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Michon was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Michon.
The commemorative stamp.
There you are.
Take that!
I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Michon died, he was seen writing a letter. Atrocanine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes. This stamp was found in your prison cell.
Gotcha, bitch!
That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp!
After Drew Michon was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright.
Daddy?
That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Michon write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brachel's testimony.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Michon sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it that night.
That would seem to be the case.
Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence?
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through this weak spin bluffs by now. He's right, though. How can anyone have known Mr. Michon would use the stamp that night? Least of all Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph.
Oh!
Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph.
What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Hair forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that. That this poison stamp drew Michon, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Michon would use that stamp?
Yes, that's right. Which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me. It needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Michon died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence? Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency.
But, Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony.
Very well, I shall take his claim head on then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Michon's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you. What possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive! He's talking about a motive!
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Now here's something. Why didn't you bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid. Unless he was afraid there was a battle he might lose.
So, what does it mean?
It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. You're saying you were a bit quiet there?
Really?
Yes. Oh, you are quite quiet. Did you move your mic?
How's this?
Hold on, I'll turn you up on Discord.
I'm on my headphones. weird. How do I sound now?
Oh, go put you up a few decibels. Try again.
Hello, hello? Can everyone hear me now?
There you go.
Okay.
A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I'd say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice?
I'm not going through with this no matter what. I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Michaud?
The red envelope.
Take that!
Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Michaud's studio in the first place.
And why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Michaud accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammary's diary.
Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven.
Objection!
The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Michaud by the client who requested that forgery.
The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Michaud drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery.
To keep them from talking?
But he made a mistake.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Herr Forehead, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Michaud was none other than Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? Then tell us how it will go down. I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh.
Oh boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I discovered there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair.
And one more thing.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday.
I understand I'm asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough.
Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shadia Nigmar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be... But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin!
Order! 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 What is the meaning of this? Witness! I mean, defendant! Former lawyer!
Let me begin by denying this.
Objection!
It's easy enough to look up Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Objection!
Herr Forehead, are you sure you don't have evidence?
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy.
Well, what do you expect? His frickin' brother's up on the stand?
Not to mention Clavier is sweating bullets too.
Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier? Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case!
He's in denial.
Well, yeah, it's his brother.
He must have thoughts and evidence, Apollo.
Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. Of course he's in pain! I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can.
I mean, think about it. If your sibling was on trial for murder, wouldn't you freak out?
What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Masham?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Masham 7 years ago. Prove it.
It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very well. But if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? Oh, you son of a...
Oh, you bastard!
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Masham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Masham.
The letter from Masham.
There you are.
Take that!
This evidence proves there's a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that.
Why?
Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this?
Ah, I see now. Yes, of course.
What do you mean, of course?
I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail.
Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell?
No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit.
Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written on the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera.
What?
He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. He's
Look at
starting
his
to crack.
veins. Look at his veins.
Yeah, he's starting to crack.
Yep.
Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please.
The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record.
Better luck next time, Justice.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination. But the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Polo, do something!
I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
Javier?
The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Polo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, Herr Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Herr Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it?
Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Misham, it was almost as if... what? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier.
Expose him!
I knew because you told me, Christoph.
There it is!
What? It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph, odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who'll be there is in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen. I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph. We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case.
The victim's belongings?
Which would have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin?
My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo.
I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye.
Two cards. That's Zach.
Ah. One card. Showdown time.
Enough.
You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go.
To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs? He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man? He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, those two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye both deserved what they got.
Talk about fucking petty.
I know, right? So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence? So you could win? But then when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Perfectly? You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end?
Cancelled when the defendant vanished.
Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said, every day, for 7 years.
But I felt it too. Journalists sure he is being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me?
I will admit, as petty as Kristoff is, he is very methodical.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Yeah.
Wait just a minute. Zach Gramery was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramery gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father.
What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him!
Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shoddy Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is the traveler was Zach Gramery.
What is it, Apollo?
Huh?
Keep going! We'll talk about it later.
Did she already know?
She's Phoenix Wright's daughter, after all.
Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifique Gramery's death started it. Magnifique Gramery's death and his student Zach Gramery the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable, he forged evidence. Drew Misham? Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atroquinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. The luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadone nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house.
The person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me.
Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then, they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the atroquinine that took Drew Misham's life.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Grammary to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shoddy Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think that I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent.
Damn it!
Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. The court concurs with the witness. It is the defendant, Vera Misham, who is on trial here.
No! But you were doing so well, Apollo!
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent.
Objection!
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in this nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me. I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor? Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christoph. You're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for the new judicial system. That's right. I totally forgot. The jurist system. Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense! There's only room for two in this court, me and the law!
Alright, Judge Dredd.
Keep this riffraff out! Out, I say!
He's losing it!
They're not in court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course, right? Right. Right! Oh boy.
He's gone Super Saiyan!
Pretty sure that was the reference.
He's gone full Broly!
He's lost his glasses.
He's gone full Broly! Kakarot!
Ironically, Vic Mignogna would be a good choice to play Kristoff.
Oh yeah.
I won't. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your courts? Kristoff, it's over.
Oh, he's done.
Clavier! The law is absolute, You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on, and face in our time. Wow, that's oddly deep of you, Judge.
Yeah.
And it is always changing, growing, nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to.
All right.
I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as a trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter Drew Misham, however. Several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court, for the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now. Consider this matter.
Here we go.
This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she's innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please, wait.
Yes, jurist number 6?
There's something in the jurist's handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists.
That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case.
With the development of the case, I see.
Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well.
Not guilty. Oh, hello, Lamiwa. Confirm. Or should I say, the Lhasa? Look at the confirm button up there. Hello, Thalassa!
And so a verdict was reached on October 9th at 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, Special Witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 8th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Vera! I'm so glad.
Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera,
Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera?
Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails.
No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm.
Vera.
When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes.
It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life.
I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you.
No, really, it's okay.
Aww! Ooh, look, it's me! I love it, thanks!
Is that me?
She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least.
That'd be like if you drew me and all you drew were my frickin' glasses.
That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is?
The other lawyer?
Oh, you mean Daddy? Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant! No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright's finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive.
Huh?
I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom.
You did what? How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammary, after all.
You're still a bad dad.
Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he?
It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano.
Wow, you're taking this really well. That he can't.
Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey, come to think of it. Where is Daddy, the one who can't play? Do you know Apollo?
I think he said he had to meet someone.
I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me one more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection! Not loud enough. And I like Mr. Magic Underwear better anyway. What?
Miss Magic, that's magic panties, Apollo.
Oh no, we're not going there again. No. Bad.
There he is.
So, your memory's returned?
Mr. Wright, was this part of your plan too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lamiwa. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists.
Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. Yeah, go see them! I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you going to tell them?
They do not know?
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, No!
Don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet.
Yes?
I've seen a lot of mysterious things in these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now, in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing, that bullet. Yet it tore who I was away. Oh, animation. 10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left my troupe, the family. Now, my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I'm glad to be alive, Mr. Wright.
Speaking of miracles, Vera Michon regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are.
It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for.
Amen to that.
And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, train time. Gotta go, cords of steel. Here's some justice!
Objection!
Yeah!
We did it! I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy.
Trucy Grammary? Frankly, I've got my doubts, but Hat Grammary? Now that'll pack 'em in.
Oh, that's so cool!
They really wanted to show the power of the DS with this game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gavineers are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session.
That's so cool how they did that.
Hey!
Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted, I've got time on my hands. Maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again.
Ah, Phoenix Wright, you goober.
Yep.
This team is nice.
It is.
Oh, right. So I was standing around eating snackers the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. It's the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe.
You can actually eat gold.
Really?
Yeah, gold is 100% edible.
Is it safe to eat?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah,
I thought the ores in gold would, like, kill you.
Nope. Gold is
Huh.
perfectly safe to eat.
Interesting. Oh, great. I'm unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast. Come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Duh, but if greater challenge is being required, then come to Hideout. You know who to ask for.
Actually, I had borscht last night. Lovely stuff. Especially with a bit
What
of
it-
milk in it.
What is borscht anyway?
Beetroot soup. And it is delicious.
Ah.
Especially if you mix it with some milk. Well, I like it with milk anyway.
Hmm.
Then there's Polish borscht where they put friggin' vodka in it.
I see.
There's Lithuanian. Oh.
So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss! Culture time!
This is how we write root, capiche?
But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss! PR time!
And this is how we write people, alright?
Not that the walkie's paying any attention. Oh, kids.
Yeah, and then there's Lithuanian borscht, which is served with a potato.
Ah.
Again, I think every Lithuanian dish has potatoes in it. Oh. But Zoe! Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that. Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? No. Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. I know it don't look like no cracker, gee, what? You want me to call it OG muffin?
Yo, yiggity yo.
Yay.
Go back to GTA 5.
More like San Andreas.
Who does it remind you of again?
I don't know where all this talk of food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one, too. See, this time, I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Ugh. Why pretend? Eldon's Noodles is about the salt. Salt forever. Fuck salt.
I love salt. You shush.
Yeah, oh yeah, GTA 5. He reminds me of Jimmy from GTA 5.
And what about San Andreas?
That's just the way he's speaking. It's like it's straight out San Andreas. Oh god.
Oh no!
It was research!
Go away!
My exponentially exquisite nature has won an equivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Stinky Hands.
No! Stop!
But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness and I am the cure. Ay.
Why? You need to be on the registry list, I swear!
He probably is.
Good lord, go away! The panty-pinching pervert, yes, I agree.
Absolute quality.
Hey! I don't know how to thank y'all for what you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I've gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. Or, you could just see them!
Again, she just reminds me of Lisa from Genshin Impact.
She does! Her video would be perfect.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. Hey, how do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in my mid-condition. What?
Why is he in a cell?
Well, take a guess who he's interviewing.
Oh, right. I imagine Kristoff. No, let me out!
I decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I met them.
Here it is.
The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
But yeah, I imagine like Brushell interviewing Kristoff and Kristoff like, please make it stop.
I think I'd rather be executed than be interviewed by you again. Aw.
That's so cute!
Oh god, Kristoff going, you want your freedom, take it. That's what I'm counting on. You're someone else's problem. Now I only want you gone.
Congrats.
Also that picture there.
Congrats, you've unlocked a special bonus in the music and background settings screen. Blah, blah, blah. Oops,
Okay.
my controller cut out. Sorry, give me a second. Must be low in battery.
Okay, perfect timing. That picture was cute. We did it!
Well, we're a third of the way there.
Yep. 1 down, 2 to go.
As we said, folks, this was the final part of this game, yes, but there are still 2 games to go. So,
Yes!
next time, a new era begins. The 3D era of Ace Attorney.
And rest in peace, my vocal cords.
Oh yeah, I finally get to have a break. Because the main character, the new main character of this game is called Athena Sykes, a female attorney. So my cords of steel finally get a fucking break. Considering that whole trial there, she literally only had Trucy and Vera, I had to voice everyone else.
Help me!
Now you'll know how I felt.
No, please!
Yeah, could be worse. I mean, it could be Undyne. Could be Undyne from Undertale again.
Don't remind me!
That's what I thought. Yes, and as you can see, Phoenix was talking about taking the bar exam again, and he did!
Yeah, he got his badge back!
This is set a year after Apollo Justice, and let me just say now, without spoiling much, this is the darkest Ace Attorney game by far.
And there's a reason why this game got an M rating.
Yeah.
It's the only Ace Attorney game ever that's ever gotten an M rating.
Yeah, every other Ace Attorney game got a T for teen rating. They had their violent moments, but there was nothing too gross in it. But this one, oh boy, from murder, blood, stabbings, terrorism. Trust me, this one is loaded.
Oh yeah.
But that comes next time for us. For next week, since next week is Thanksgiving, we'll be streaming next Tuesday.
Yes.
So next week for more San Andreas, and the week after that we'll begin Dual Destinies. Anything to say before we head off?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week for more San Andreas. Bye bye.